What's up, everybody? This is Deej for short, and I'm hanging out with Tiegard. What's up, Tiegard? How you doing today?
Doing good, Deej. What's up?
Well, man, I'm telling you, we are the two of the three. Dean's is definitely on assignment right now. He's being an awesome dad and doing his thing. So we are going to try to do our best to hold it down for him in this short but sweet podcast. And basically, this is going to be a podcast where we are going to be doing nothing but thanking the one and only Klay Thompson as we watch these wonderful highlights of Klay Thompson. Now, we just learned something right now, Tigard, about Klay Thompson and the number 11. It's not only the his first name starts with a K, which was the 11th letter of the alphabet, but it's also the selection that the Warriors chose him at, which was the 11th position. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that like an awesome, like wonderful, like truth be told, truth about that whole number?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And on top of that, remember, it was the 11th pick in the 2011 draft too. So it's like 11s are wild, pretty much.
Definitely, definitely. Now, I'm gonna ask you, what was your first feeling when the Golden State Warriors drafted Klay Thompson? Because I definitely will go into what I felt, and it's gonna be it's not gonna be a favorite amongst any of the Golden State Warriors faithful, Dub Nation. But what was your thought process when you were watching this draft? And you're like, well, the Warriors draft Klay Thompson, Washington.
To be honest, like when we drafted him that year, I wasn't exactly sure what to make of him as a shooting guard at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know you're going to get into the details and background and all the information that you usually gather on players and whatnot. Um, but pretty much all I really knew about him was that his dad had played for the Lakers before, um, and people saying that the backcourt of Curry and Clay have a potential, but wasn't really sure how that would look like. And I think it was most likely due to um, what I watched growing up as a Warriors fan. I wasn't used to a lot of winning and a lot of great shooting. Uh,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I was a huge fan of Tim Hardaway when he was hitting three pointers years ago with Run TMC. Um, but yeah, I had no idea what we were in for as Warriors fans when we got Klay Thompson.
Bro, I remember that the only jerseys, as a Golden State Warriors fan, the only jerseys that were remotely on point or cool before before the We Believe, I mean, before the Strength and Numbers team was built by, you know, Jerry West. Jerry West had a huge hand in building this dynasty that the Golden State Warriors have gone. They basically went through for a whole decade. This is a whole decade of a golden age for Golden State Warriors fans, and so he was Jerry West was the mastermind that said, "Hey, we should draft that kid from Washington. His name is Klay Thompson." And it's not because his dad had Lakers ties. It's just that Jerry West saw something in him, and so back I mean seriously, back in 2011 when I was watching this, I know that the Golden State Warriors had Steph Curry, and I know that the Warriors had Monte Ellis. So my automatic reactions to this whole draft pick was like, why the fuck did the Warriors get another guard? Like, why the hell did they get this dude when the backcourt? I didn't see the vision at the
Mm-hmm.
time. I didn't know what the heck was going on, and so I was like, okay, you got Steph Curry and you got Monte Ellis, two very undersized players for the off guard position, for the shooting guard position. And then you get Klay Thompson. Yeah, okay, he's 6'6", 6'7", but then he's not even going to be fixed to start. So basically, you're basically saying that Klay Thompson's going to be coming off of the bench and providing scoring off the bench, but it didn't solve anything for it didn't solve anything for the front court. I mean, the backcourt was already set, I thought, or it was a very exciting backcourt, and then all of a sudden, there was a huge trade with Monte Ellis being traded away. Huge hurt, by the way. I was hurt by that. I don't know how you felt about the Monte Ellis trade, but I was like, okay, we're never gonna get it right, dude. The Golden State Warriors are never gonna get it right. And so when they drafted Klay Thompson and they traded away Monte Ellis, I was like, okay, what's really going on here? And it didn't really start hitting until they got a bona fide coach with Coach Mark Jackson, who shaped a winning culture, started it. And then they started to build around with Bob Myers, who was the general manager at the time. He was literally, making good draft picks with the help of Jerry West, which eventually led to Draymond Green, Festus Ezeli, and there was just a slew of picks that were just crucial to the first three championships, like Harrison Barnes and all that. So it's just it just boggles my mind how the trade for Monte Ellis to give Klay Thompson the chance to play was the way to that paved the way for this. And so yeah, it was not popular. I was not a popular person at the time, Tiegard. I really was questioning what the hell the Warriors are doing when they were drafted Klay Thompson. But as we saw from year to year to year, his game grew to the point where he was like a bona fide bucket. Now, Steph Curry is like elite level bucket. Like, that he's going to chuck up like 20, 25 shots a game, and he's going to probably hit, half of those from beyond the arc. But Klay Thompson was the second best shooter, not only on the team, but in the NBA. He's the best. He's the second best shooter in the NBA behind Steph Curry. And when Mark Jackson said that the Golden State Warriors have one of the best backcourts in the NBA, when Klay Thompson started to start, I was like, okay, now we're just now we're literally throwing, fool's gold into like the pot now. But it changed, man. It changed. So speaking of when you saw the Golden State Warriors trajectory start to change after Mark Jackson got fired, which was like, I thought, damn, Golden State Warriors will never get it right. And then they're going to give the freaking team to a guy that's only been a GM, but which is Steve Kerr. I didn't know Steve Kerr's pedigree. I didn't know that I forgot that he was playing under Phil Jackson, that he was playing under, Gary Popovich. And I was like, oh my God, he's played under really cerebral coaches. And so I was wondering what the heck was going on. But in that first year where Klay Thompson played for Steve Kerr, and when Draymond Green stepped in when David Lee got hurt and became the stretch four, which is what every NBA team is aspiring to get now. Draymond Green was the guy that created that. When Draymond Green was screening and passing to Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, that was the beauty of Warriors basketball. It was a pass to an open teammate and trust him. And what was your feeling, or what? Because my mind's boggled by how this whole thing turned out. But what was your reaction on the first year with Steve Kerr, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry when that was all unraveling?
Well, like, just watching these highlights right now while you're talking is just, this is exactly what it felt like. Like the buildup of this special thing is just like, wait, is this really happening?
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, it turned from, having hope with the We Believe team in, what was it, 07, 08, and, just trying to fight for some notoriety. And then, of course, like you brought up and touched on with, drafting Curry, but having Curry and Ellis, and everyone talking about how it's, not going to work because they're too small, defense really. And then when we traded Ellis, this was also when Curry had so many ankle injuries already. And yeah, I'm definitely not going to be a fan favorite saying this, but I was in the mindset of like, wait, what are we doing?
Yeah, same
And
like me.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so when we drafted Clay, I think I was probably a little bit more understanding at the time because we traded Ellis, got Bogut, so we got the big man. We had the stretch four with David Lee already there, and then Harrison Barnes with the, what was he, small forward or power forward?
Yeah, he was the small forward, and Draymond Green was the power forward, and then Andrew Bogut was playing half the game at starting center
Yeah.
with some backups. Yeah,
So drafting Clay at the time made sense. I just, it was more so not really knowing what we got, and like all these highlights that we're watching now is only showing half of it, his
yeah.
offense. But what he really brought to was the defense,
Oh,
because that was
definitely.
also what her really brought into the team, which was making sure that you play defense. We had one of the assistant coaches was always stressing about defense, and Clay was, not just offense but defense, and he just brought it. And him and Curry at the same time just turned out to be a cheat code that, I'm sure a bunch of fans still try to hate on the Warriors about, but understand this: those two were drafted. They were not, bought in free agency. They weren't trades or whatever. You can get on us about Durant and signing him in the off season and whatnot, but you can't hate on the Warriors for Curry, Clay, and Draymond because all three were drafted different years and coming together with, yes, of course, role players like Barbosa, Livingston, David West. We did trade for Bogut to get that bona fide center for rebounds and defense, and also his passing skills, and just everything came together, and it was just beautiful to watch.
Absolutely. Now, moving a little forward, seeing him grow from season to season, gosh damn, he has the most textbook prettiest shot in the NBA. Like I don't think anyone has a pretty shot. Now, let me be honest with you. I know that Steph Curry is the best shoot. Oh man, this moment like really gave me
Mm-hmm.
goosebumps when he came out. Yes, the
Mm.
Golden State Warriors lost this finals against the Toronto Raptors. By the way, congratulations, Toronto Raptors. That was a good series. But when Klay Thompson came back to shoot those two
The
free
free,
throws,
oh my
that was
god,
hard.
yeah.
Oh my god! But I, any rate, like Klay Thompson shot from start to his release is the. I think that every shooter that is in, if you're growing up in high school or college, Klay Thompson's game worked so well for him for so long because he relied on the most amazing jumper. And what people don't give credit to Klay Thompson is that he actually has athleticism. Like he has some jumping ability there. So
Oh yeah.
when he gets full extension, that's like magic. And I know that Steph Curry is the best shooter in the NBA, percentage wise and all that, stats wise. I get it, but if you compare his shot to Klay Thompson's, Klay Thompson is textbook, like perfect. And for the Golden State Warriors for nearly a decade, or more so, we have been so spoiled with the fact that we have two of the best shooters in the NBA, and for so long, and the consistents were there, right? Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. They were there, right? And then we've had some people come and go, like Harrison Barnes, Kevin Durant, and then now we got Andrew Wiggins, who hopefully
Hmm.
can put together his career back together this year and put things together, right? But at the end of the day, though, the this whole experience was just watching these Warriors do what they did to win four championships with the players that they played with. I'm so humbled by the fact that we were able to witness that in our lifetime.
Yeah.
This was a hell of this is the way that basketball needs to be played. Good defense, defense that leads to offense. A whole entire five, not just three, but five
Hmm.
players on the court, always constantly screening and moving for each other, moving the ball around. I didn't see that with the Chicago Bulls, or I didn't see that with the Kobe Bryant Shaq era with the Lakers. This was the first time where I saw that everyone was moving the ball, everyone was touching the ball, and they
Hmm.
know who the scorers are. But you'll start noticing that when Klay Thompson and Steph Curry also have that high basketball IQ to look for an open teammate. And Draymond Green, by the way, basketball IQ is off the charts, but Klay
Yeah.
Thompson's ability to play defense from 1 to 5, and unheralded, by the way, he never won a Defensive Player of the Year, but he was always on the best wing, best guard that the other team has to offer. He even guarded the four, and he
Right.
and he guarded the five, and that's what Klay Thompson is. He is one of those that is unselfish, and he is one of those people that all for the team. If the team wins, he's all about that. And that is why I'm so confused at how everything turned out. And Tiger, I'm going to ask you this because I feel that media fucks things up. And I feel that this past season there was something must have been going on, and we're fans, right? So
Hmm.
we're not supposed to be acting like we know, and whatever is said to us from the news reports and all that stuff, like 500% of that stuff is fake anyway. But
Yep.
I'm so pissed at the way that the media handled this whole situation, where Klay Thompson was coming off the bench and this and that and whatever. I mean, how did you feel about the reports coming out this year about Klay Thompson?
So this kind of goes into a little bit of Tiegard's tirades, where
Yeah.
uh,
No, don't hold back, Tigard. You fucking let people know.
I'm gonna be real with everyone. The whole Clay Thompson, I don't even know what to call it. Like, I'm just gonna say situation. I'll keep it PC for now. But that whole situation that happened throughout this past season into the off season, like I had my feels going up and down like a roller coaster for sure. We hear reported or we heard throughout the year reports that the Warriors offered Clay a 2 year deal. I think somewhere around 24 per year or something like that. Excuse me, 24
Yeah.
to 25 per year.
Mm-hmm.
And I can understand it from his perspective. He is a four-time champ, all star, just number 77 out of the top 75, if you all remember that.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was
Uh,
bullshit, but yeah.
but, as fans too, like, we also try to be realistic and seeing like how he was playing since, recovering from ACL and Achilles back to back years. Like it unfortunately took a toll on him. And I mean, if the reports were true, I felt that the 2 years at 24 25 per year was, I think, a decent deal. I mean, shit, I don't think any of us would ever turn that down. Um, but he wanted to bet on himself for the year and show that he was worth more than that. And I mean, I gotta say too, like he more often than not showed that the 24 25 per year was even being gracious at the time, in
Hmm.
my mind.
Hmm.
Like he just looked like a shell of himself sometimes, and it's hard to say, about someone that we got to watch and love for the last, what, 12, 13 years. Like it's insane, but it, as an organization, they got to look at it as, okay, what can we do to still be considerate to an all-time great warrior, but also continue to keep this ship moving forward. And then I totally thought it was just going to be, okay, well, we'll come to the table, get something finally down on paper. And as a fan, like, we want to see Curry, Clay, and Draymond all retire together. Like, it sounds kind of weird. Maybe a lot of other Warriors fans don't didn't want to see that or didn't think that would happen because Curry was drafted 2 years before Clay and Draymond. But that's the way I looked at it. It was something that I wanted those three to be together for their careers and ride off into sunset together, become all-time great warriors and Hall of Famers eventually in their own rights. Uh, but my goodness, I was livid, and Deej can tell you guys I was texting him, messaging him like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, what is Clay doing?" Like,
Yeah.
I was just going off. And now, like, I obviously as stuff came out more and more, it's understandable, hear about Clay even telling Curry, like, don't talk to ownership about my contract situation. It's, I don't want you to get into it. Curry obviously didn't listen because they're Splash Brothers and wanted Clay to stay. But I mean, this is the unfortunate side of it too, right? It's the money, it's the financials that really kind of throw wrenches in, these beautiful things that we get to see built as fans. And I mean,
No, I mean,
Clay, I'll love you, man, for all of eternity because of what you've done as a warrior. But uh, going to Dallas, I hope it doesn't work out. Um, that's my pettiness coming out.
pettiness,
I
super
don't care
petty.
for Luca and Kyrie. Not that they're not great; they're both amazing players in their own rights. And oh my goodness, Dallas has got
Yeah,
two
they were
great
close.
players.
They were close.
But yeah, yeah, that's still my pettiness. But yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, Deej. Like, what?
No, no.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that there was when this whole situation was going off. Like as soon as we found out that Klay Thompson was going to sign with the Dallas Mavericks, it was one of those points where you just had to sit back and like when someone's opening up to you and you're just like, bro, calm down, it's gonna be okay, and all of a sudden they just keep going. So that's how Tiger was that whole night. He was so freaking pissed that Klay Thompson chose Dallas and stuff. But I'm gonna be honest with you, Tiger. I didn't care much for the news reports. I didn't care much for the rumors. I didn't give a crap about how much the contracts were with the Warriors or with the Mavericks. The choice was done. The choice was made. But what I can tell you is that during this year, something was off. Something was
Mhm.
definitely off. And you have so here's the first thing that I noticed was that you have a a somewhat decent Klay Thompson, right? Obviously, he's not like the mid-20s Klay Thompson, right? But he's still Klay Thompson. He still can get his shots up, and he still can find his place on the floor to get into a good position to score. I didn't see that this year, and it felt like, for me, when I was watching the Warriors, it felt like somehow in some way that his shots selection were diminishing for some reason. I don't know what the hell was going on. We needed a scorer to step up and step in. That was Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson was a steady 22. If anything, I wouldn't mind having Klay Thompson have his shot selection increased. And if he's not hitting at the clip that he was hitting at in his 20s, well, at least we tried. At least we leaned on Klay for some shots. And I don't know what's going on, but that was what I was noticing, was that he was not getting his shot selections anymore. I think he was averaging 15, 16 shots, 17 shots a game. At this year, if he was healthy, we needed him to do at least 18, 19 shots to put up.
My rebuttal to that, though, Deej, is there was plenty of games where, he has that mindset, shooter shoot, right? Yeah. And that means it doesn't matter if I'm 1 for 8 at 3-point range, I'm going to keep shooting, because shooters shoot out of slumps.
Right.
But it wasn't happening like it used to for Klay, where he would, let's say, start cold in a game and be like 0 for 4, 0 for 5, right? Mm-hmm. And then, we're like, come on, Klay, and then he would be on the defensive end, keeping guys limit guys on their shots and their points. And then all of a sudden, second quarter, going to the second half, he would come out and start making those shots, back to back, and, come out with a 18-point game and, look a lot better than, how he started. But this past season, you gotta admit that it wasn't the same. And I mean, the best, I don't want to say best, but I mean, the evidence that you can just look to is our last game of the season, 0 for 10. I mean, yeah, 10 shots isn't 19, but would you want 0 for 19? I mean, if he didn't hit anything to end the season, and that's unfortunately happening more. And when he was basically kind of being, I guess probably in his mind, pushed to a bench role, which he did not want to take. He did not want to admit that that's what he would, be. Then, it felt like he was forcing it and trying to prove to the Warriors, no, I'm still a starter and everything. And I feel like that's what really got in the way, because when he was on the second team with Chris Paul, there were
he was actually better.
Where and
he was actually better. He actually, the pressure was off him, yeah, and he started to become the 20-point scorer that he was. And I think what Klay Thompson was accustomed to for so long was that he was a catch and shoot and get open and score kind of guy, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what he was accustomed to, because that was Warriors basketball. He was always going to be the second option, but he was the second option that was constantly on the move, and that's what made Warriors basketball so beautiful to watch. But the thing is that when you are asked to be a scorer, to put points on the board, you gotta mix it up. You gotta force yourself in the paint. You gotta get yourself to the free throw line. I mean, Klay Thompson is an 87% free throw shooter. If he learned how to slash and get fouled by going up to the rim, he would have easily gotten his 20 points on the free throw. I mean, we had a player by the name of Corey Maggette who was habitually getting to the free throw line to get his 20 points a night. Remember that guy, Corey Maggette? If Klay Thompson learned how to do that, he would have, he may have not gotten that 0 for 10. He might have gotten that 0 for 7, but he would, for the other shots, he would try to force himself into the lane smartly to get fouled to go to the free throw line. I think that's the next step is in his game, is that if he does go to the Dallas Mavericks, he has to learn how to score other than shooting when he's having a shooting off night. And that is something that he didn't have to do that at Golden State because, again, their ball movement and all that really was the bread and butter of their offense. So it never asked for a scorer to, go to the paint, try to get fouled or something. It was never that kind of offense. But I'm just going to say this. I am so understanding to the situation now, looking from it and hearing it from Draymond Green after the whole situation. Draymond Green admitted that Klay Thompson wasn't happy anymore. And a guy that loves basketball is not happy anymore. And as a Warriors fan, you're like, oh, come on, dude, you built this. You gotta be happy. You have to make yourself happy. But you know that in life, you can't force happiness, right? You can't make happiness out of nothing. And if a team that you did so much for is asking you to do something, which he did. He came off the bench. He was helpful that way. Unfortunately, his last game was not the best game, but still, Klay Thompson did so much for the strength in numbers squads over like more than a decade, and to see someone in a different role than you're used to, it hurt a little bit for me as a Warriors fan. And I'm a huge Klay Thompson fan. I mean, by my God, we met him at Lefty's Collectibles when he was in his first All-Star season, and he was really cool to me and Tiegard. It was an amazing meet and greet for me because, and that made me a fan. Made me a fan of Klay Thompson for now until, gosh, if I ever become a millionaire, I want a boat. I want a boat with Captain Klay, dude. But I mean, Klay Thompson has meant so much to the Golden State Warriors, not only the team, but he solidified a culture here with Steph Curry, with Steve Kerr, with Draymond Green. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he was no longer happy, it hurts to hear that because you're just like, wow, so the history that you made is not even going to make you happy. But we forget as human beings, there's phases in our life. And I got to admit, this last season was tough to watch as a fan of Klay Thompson because it was Klay struggling for the first time in a while. He didn't struggle like that when he came back from his from missing 2 seasons. Uh-huh. He went right back to averaging 20 points a game. And for him to, I don't know what transpired behind the scenes, and I could give 0 fucks about the stupid ass rumors that the media was saying. But the fact is that whatever it was, Klay Thompson decided that leaving was the best option, and he decided to sign with the Dallas Mavericks. And for me, if you're going to leave the Golden State Warriors, at least go to a team where you're going to be like, the guy, right? That's what I was hoping for Klay, because that's what I was hoping for when Kevin Durant left. I thought that Klay Thompson was going to slide in and be the second 24-point scorer or 25-point scorer, but that's just not what Klay do. Like, Klay doesn't create shots like Kevin Durant can, and he doesn't go to the free throw line or tries to like James Harden, and so I was just devastated by the fact that if these rumors, media, whatever, and all that stuff played into him leaving, Fuck that. I think that reporters nowadays need to have a little bit more class when they're reporting some shit, because if you're just gonna report stupid ass rumors, then it's you're basically lying to the public, and you're just doing that for clickbait. Because
Well,
you,
that's the atmosphere now of reporting though is all about clickbait. It's all about like you see it on YouTube all the time. Like the way that they title the titles. It's something that has to be edgy or gossipy or juicy or something or other to get your attention, and then it's really just, oh, this is what we think might happen, or the potential is that it might be this, but it could be that, and we don't really know. And it's like, when you get caught up in that, that's what really does get frustrating, because they don't really know as much as they lead on. And I think with social media, it's really gotten to the point where reporting isn't as high of a like a tier that fans used to always see. Media was, oh, you're reporting on this team or this player, and you have the inside scoop and everything, and it's not like that anymore. It's all out there. So then they
no,
try to make it more than what it is, or they want to add that gasoline to the fire to make it sound even worse than it really was.
but you know what? I'm going to say this, Tigard. We are blessed to be part of Dub Nation. Every fan that's part of the Dub Nation, we're not fucking idiots.
Yeah.
We went through so much pain and suffering, for some of us for more than 4 decades.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't born when they freaking won the championship in the 70s,
Nope.
and yeah, but the thing is that we're not fucking stupid. We're not I mean, the newer fans of the Warriors that became fans of the Warriors in the last 3 or 4 years, maybe that's what they're feeding into. But when I talk to other Dub Nation fans, we don't give zero fucks, and we like to cut the fat. Just give us the facts, because this basketball that the Warriors are playing was beautiful. We
Yeah.
were defending, we were rebounding. I mean, gosh damn, Steph Curry is averaging 5 rebounds a game as a freaking point guard. We this is a beautiful game that doesn't need to be ruined by stupid ass freaking remarks and shit. Like the Skip Baylesses of the world, or like Charles Barkley's of the world. Look, the Warriors are winning and found a recipe, and that is what championship teams do. They
Hmm.
find what works for them, and they maximize on all levels. That's what the Warriors did. And yes, we got Kevin Durant, but believe you me, Kevin Durant could have made another decision and stayed with OKC. They
Hmm.
made a pitch. He was the one that choose to either join us or not. If I had it my way, if I would have stuck with Harrison Barnes. But here's the thing: Harrison Barnes didn't want to stick with the Warriors. He didn't want to sign the extension, so that's why they went the other route and tried to at least get Kevin Durant, who is arguably at the time one of the top two basketball players in the world. But anyway, all I'm saying is that I know that what your true feelings are about Klay Thompson going to the Dallas Mavericks. Here's mine. I love this. I love this dude from afar. I think that his game was beautiful to witness every game that I watched. I was so blessed to see him play in person. Holy shit, what a fucking mood was it to freaking watch the Golden State Warriors in the Oracle? Holy
Oh
fuck.
yeah,
Holy fuck. Wasn't that a fucking mood? That
dude. Okay, for those that don't know, Oracle before it became Roracle, seats were, what was it, 10, $15 to get
yeah.
in.
But we still cheered, Ty
Bleacher,
Guard. We,
right?
we still cheered.
I'm just giving the people like inside scoop, right? Like what they
Yeah.
will all want to hear is that, I mean, it used to smell like weed up in the bleachers because
Yeah.
that's how it was. And
Because that's how
when
we handle losing.
that's how we had to handle
That's
losing at
how we
the
do.
time.
We light up the green because we can't light up the scoreboard. So
Exactly.
no, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's why I love Dub Nation. That's why I love the Golden State Warriors fans. That's why I'm so thankful that of all places that I chose to go to college was in the Bay Area. Because I was like, man, I'm gonna go here because they have hella freaking pro teams. And oh my goodness, dude, Clay, I hope that whatever role you play in Dallas, I hope that you maximize on all the opportunities that you are going to do. But just believe you me, our Golden State Warriors are going to give you a go every night when we play you. But for the nights that we're not playing you, I really do hope that you find your rhythm with Luca and Kyrie. Sorry, I was butchering that. I had someone was eating curry for lunch, and I got curry in my mind, and we're talking about Steph Curry. Anyway, I I think that what you did is what you had to do for yourself, and I can't be mad at that. And even though it hurt, I can't be mad at that because if at the end of the day, if it means for you to pursue the happiness that you no longer have, I'm so sorry that if that's true, that I'm so sorry that it had to be with the team and the fan base that loves you tremendously. And I know that there wouldn't be any other decision. There wouldn't be any other situation that would have changed your mind the way that this did. But I wish that there was a way that you were heard a little bit more. Maybe I wish that there was a way that things could work out without, the ugly side. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's a business. It's a strategic business, and the Warriors are going to do what's best for their team, and players are going to do what's best for their interests. And so, my God, Clay, it was such an honor to see you play, don the many awesome Golden State Warrior version jerseys that came out in these in the last 10 to 12 years. Holy moly, some good jerseys came out, by the way.
Yeah.
But oh man, Tiegard, I think that I could go hours upon hours of talking about Klay Thompson, and the fact that now I'm thinking that this now is the time that I have to sell all my Klay Thompson rookie cards that I accumulated and say goodbye to, and probably keep one, you know. But I mean, it was a great freaking ride, man. Like I cannot be more happier to have witnessed that with you and Dean's. Klay Thompson's ride with the Warriors, 4 championships, multiple playoff appearances. Good God! I mean, is there anything more that you want to ask from a contributing player than that? So I want to throw it back to you for your final thoughts, but I feel that I could keep going,
I
and
know.
I trust me. I wish I could keep going, but I think the more that I'm gonna go, I'm gonna freaking ball, dude. This is freaking hard to handle. But anyway,
Yeah,
Tiger.
I think if anything, the main point that both of us want to get out is play. Thank you for being one half of the Splash Brothers for so many years. For us Warriors fans to just root for, and just be amazed by your prowess on defense, your beautiful shot every time. Uh, you could, when you did go over 10 in that last game, your shot still looked like I was watching it as if every shot was going to go in anyways.
Yeah,
Um, so I mean, I can't thank you enough for what contributed, and not just on the court, but your personality was just so lighthearted and down to earth that a lot of us fans just connected with you. Um, Myself being a dog dad, with Clay having Rocco, I loved
yeah,
seeing that, and just him showcasing what it's like to be an animal lover, him, being a captain and having a boat just kind of shows his fun way of living and just, kind of a happy-go-lucky type of person. So, to your point, Deej, if it really did get to a point where he was just unhappy, uh, you know, being on the Warriors, that hurts. It really does hurt, and I think that's part of what got me upset with him. Is I don't know what happened behind the scenes. I don't know if it was her or ownership or anyone else within the organization. What happened for Klay to feel like he was being disrespected? But that just kind of that's what really irritated me because I mean, as a fan, like I feel like I got disrespected by him being able to kind of turn and leave in a sense. But
Right.
at the end of the day, I do know it's a business. At the end of the day, I do know that he is human himself, and from what he's said, it's about just trying to find that lightning in a bottle, perhaps, and showcase what he's still capable of doing. Definitely will have nerves whenever we play Dallas with him and on the same team as Luca and Kyrie.
Yeah. Yep.
But at the end of the day, all it's ever going to be is love for Klay Thompson, and I'm gonna leave it at that because I got past my negativity. I got past my own hurt that I was feeling,
Yep. You
and
drink your water, you flush it out. Good
and the
job.
last thing though I do want to say is still on his way out. He did manage to screw over the Lakers, and as a Warriors fan, that
He
just
did.
kind of made it just a little bit more easier to take. So thank you for that too, Klay.
Awesome. Yep. That's so true. He didn't go to the Jameses. I mean, the Los Angeles James team is basically what you might as well call him. Because I mean, Bryce is on his way. Anyway. Um, I just want to say, gosh damn, Klay Thompson. It was it was such an honor to see you play the game the way that you played it with the Golden State Warriors. I just want to say thank you for all the practice time that you put in to perfect your craft. I just want to thank you for giving it your all each game that you played for us, caring about the defensive side as well as the offensive side. Doing the dirty work, guarding all the best players in the NBA on any given night with no flinch. You took the challenge full on. You didn't complain once at all about it. You just said, "I'm going to go ahead and do it." I want to thank you for all the games that you have played in the playoffs where you helped the Warriors go to the next round or go to the NBA Finals.
Game six,
Um,
Klay.
Game six Klay and forever Game six Klay. I don't care about Game six against the Boston Celtics. That didn't count. That Andrew Wiggins was on a rampage. That NBA Finals. So you gotta you gotta give it up to that guy. But man, Klay, I'm gonna miss your 1 to 2 sentence interviews. When you had to say something, you said the right thing. Whenever you talked in your interviews or whenever you talked to the media, you spoke like a true professional. You didn't badmouth anybody in the media, which is kind of different in today's sports. So I want to thank you for your humbleness and whatever you. I mean, you and your brothers were raised amazingly, and it showed because you have class in whatever you do. I want to thank you for loving French bulldogs as much as I do. and or bulldogs in general.
Yes,
And
Rocco's an English bulldog.
oh yeah, there you go. And and thank you for bringing the nautical into my life. I didn't, I wasn't much of a boat person, but seeing your Instagram posts and and you enjoying your time on the water is breathtaking. And I didn't realize how the open seas can be so soothing. And you earned everything, by the way, Clay. Everything that you did in your Warriors career, you earned those contract extensions. You earned every dime I don't care if you went through two missed seasons because of injury, because those contract extensions that you received during that time was well paid. You deserved that, and you came back and you gave us one more. And so you may never watch this, and that's cool. But at the end of the day, me, Dean, and Tiegard are one of are a trio of the biggest Golden State Warriors fans from the days of gosh damn Mookie Blaylock and Muggsy Bogues to your dynasty. You were so important to our lives for so long, and I just want to thank you for giving me an opportunity to have something to watch on a bad day. Or you made me look forward to something when I was, and you lightened up even if I had a bad day, watching a Golden State Warriors game was freaking fun as hell. And I have you and strength in numbers squads to thank for that. So from the bottom of my Dub Nation Golden State Warriors loving heart, I just want to say, Klay Thompson, God bless you. Thank you so much for everything. And I hope to God that the Dallas fan base there, by the way, let's just be real. No, nothing compares to Dub Nation.
No,
But I really do
definitely.
hope that the Dallas fan base there really appreciates the fuck out of you, because we always loved and dug whatever you did for us. And unfortunately, it's going to come down to whenever you retire, you're going to sign that 1-day contract to retire as a Golden State Warrior. I wish it was different. I wish it was continuous with us. But at the end of the day, the reality hit. And you deserve happiness, and I hope that you get it, man. Well, anyway, I'm getting a little DG here. So, and I don't know, man. It's just this means a lot to the Golden State Warriors fans, and especially me and Tiegard and Dean. So, at any rates, that was our podcast for the night. Dean's is on assignment, so wish him well. And by the way, thank you to each and every one of you that were watching Dean's Destinations. I saw you, and I thank you for clicking and watching his footage from Comic-Con, watching his shorts from the Philippines. Thank you very much, everybody, for supporting the At Randomly Irregular podcast. So, speaking of which, please do support our channel on YouTube at Randomly Irregular Podcast, and you could also follow us on the other socials at TikTok and Instagram at Randomly Irregular Podcast. And by God, Tiegard, it was awesome catching up with you. And man, everybody, take care later and good night.
See ya.